Hello and welcome back to the International Sportplex Arena here in Pierrefonds for some more NHL Kids action as we join this game as the opening puck drop between the Seals and Bruins is back and taken here by Pouliot behind the net. He's going to put it in front here. Number 17 is going to be he was wearing number 9 yesterday. We don't have I think it's Liam McManus, if I'm not mistaken. As now here come back the Seals the other way. Centered around goal here. They're going to be trying picked up on the far side. As the puck goes around center ice here.
That's Turturiano in the corner. Zunadam.
Yeah, now it's a Zunadam in the far corner here, and they're going to be trying to battle for it behind the net as Liam Walls will actually pick it up here for the Bruins. As there was a battle for it around center ice, now it will finally be corralled here. Number 2, that was Elie Villeneuve, who was traded from the Flyers just the other day. Antoine Pouliot shot on goal. It's going to be handled and was still free briefly. Nathaniel Kuhncom going to come into the mix here, and he's going to pick the pocket, walks in, shoots, scores! He's going to holster that one as he absolutely rifles it past their starting goaltender here for the Seals, number 41. That's Zach Cloutier, and they open the scoring here for the Bruins.
Well, that was a fantastic play by Kuhncom. You see along the boards, he's got a big frame, so he can really use that, and he's got an active stick as well, which is a good combination. So he's able to lift the stick of the Seals player, and that was just an absolute snipe job in the top left corner of the net. Great job.
Back into the dot now. Kuhncom's going to go against Mihai. And it's going to be actually controlled here by the Seals. Pass across here to Villeneuve. Villeneuve gets escape. He now past center ice. Whacked at by Kuhncom and pushed forward by Villeneuve. It's going to go over to number 19. That's Rowe. Allaire's going to try and dump it into the zone. Allaire now is going to whack at it. Villeneuve pinching forward. Wallace will take it here for the Bruins and center it across the ice for Pepin. Pepin's going to knock it forward here over to Bosom out of his reach. Be corralled quickly by number 22. That was Gadebois. Going to be taken right back by Kuhncom, looking for some more. He's already opened the scoring here for the Bruins. And here they come back the other way. It's Rowe trying to pick a pocket. Kuhncom in again, shoots just wide of the mark. Daniel Kuhncom going to try and circle it around now. He's got some men with him. He goes cross ice to Wallace, who pushes it farther into the zone. Wallace tries to get around his man. It's going to be briefly intercepted here by Villeneuve. Now a battle for it behind the goal of the Seals. A lot of sweaters in the mix here for both sides, and it does finally go into the corner. Wallace going to go there for the Bruins to get there first. Wallace battling for it with Villeneuve, who's going to play it forward finally, and they come back the other way. It was number 9, that was Perello on the Seals. Wallace has his pocket picked, and Perello's going to try and take it back the other way. Allaire gets his stick in the mix, and Pepin will handle it down and give it right back over to McManus. He'll play it over to Allaire and drop it over to Wallace. Wallace still in his own end, tries to use the boards, and it's intercepted here by number 22, Gadebois. Now Pouliot's going to take it. Antoine Pouliot past center ice. Plays it up the boards, and nobody finally picked off here by Fournier. Fournier plays the puck forward, and it's going to go over to number 10. That's Turturiano. That's Turturiano, who's been player of the match in the game yesterday for the Seals. Dumped into the far side. Nikolais goes after it. It's intercepted along the boards. Tried to be centered out in front. It bounces over a couple sticks, and it can be settled down here by McManus. McManus plays it forward here, and Lucier can't get the passes. It's knocked out of the air by number 26, Fournier. Fournier with some nifty moves. He's going to play the puck forward now. It's going to be settled down by 52. That's going to be Thomas Gagné. Finally dumped into the zone here. Couturian, who's going to try and play it on goal. Number 35. Oh, wraparound attempt, and finally a stick foiled him on a Boston defender. And now here comes Pouliot back the other way. Into the offensive zone. Pouliot can't get past Fournier. And now coming back the other way is going to be number 15. That was Zunadam. He settled in here, walking to the zone and a flyer across, but Pouliot gets his stick in the way. Antoine Pouliot trying to clear the zone, and Boston does after it's briefly intercepted here. Wallace going to take it over for the Bruins, I should say. Wallace had a shot on goal and was kicked away by Cloutier. And the battle in the corner as Wallace had a clear cross check, but no call made by the referee. Clearly, even though it's 10:26 and we've called a couple games, they need some more coffee in them so they can wake up. The puck does squeeze out of the zone here due to some efforts from Fournier. Fournier whacked at. He's been on the ice for a very long time. Fournier's just going to dump it in here, and finally, it looks like Nathaniel Kuhncom got hit to the ice as well. Puck is outstretched here of Bosom, so we're going to have to start the icing and go all the way back into the zone of the Bruins, I should say.
Well, lots to play for both of these teams in this game. The Red Wings just won their last game earlier, so that means the Bruins need to win this game if they want to keep second place in the Eastern Conference. And for the Seals, they're currently 1 point behind the Penguins for second place in the Western Conference. So there is an avenue there where they could finish second, so both these teams are going to be going at it hard.
In the face-off, we have not Uzun, but it's going to be Mihai, who loses the draw to Kunkam. They move the puck up now. Allaire has it for the Bruins. Nikolaitis had to hit the brakes and get onside. A wide shot, misses the mark. Nikolaitis going to settle it down here. He hits the brakes and he's going to go try and get into the offensive zone here. Briefly taken away. He's still fighting for it. The Seals will settle it down to Kunkam in the mix. Allaire almost had it. The puck does squeeze out of the zone. Bruins get onside and still trying to get in possession of it as Kunkam's going to play it down the boards. Wallace in pursuit of it. He'll pick it up in his own end. Liam Wallace has got some ice to use, and he's going to. Getting around the defenders, Liam Wallace. He's a dangerous man indeed, trying to cut to the middle of the net. Pochek gets high in the air, on the goal, likes to shoot, scores! It's going to be Bosom who finally taps it in, and the Bruins take a 2-0 lead.
Well, that was a great rush there by Liam Wallace. It actually looked like Zachary Cloutier was about to cover that puck up, but Bosom, opportunistic as ever, was in the right place at the right time, and that's what the Bruins are so good at. They don't necessarily, that was a very skilled rush by Wallace, but their goals don't result necessarily from the most skilled plays. They're in the right places, making the right plays, and that's how they get that second goal.
Tuturianu is now in the face-off dot. He's going to go against Pouliot off the draw. It's going to be still controlled once again by the Bruins. Intercepted here, though, by Uzunadam. Uzunadam going to go bounce. The puck still almost was there, and it was good effort here by Liam Wallace to get the defensive stake in the way. Wide open cage for the Seals. Now here come the Bruins the other way. Be held by Dylan Lucier, who's been a fantastic goal scorer, but he's going to be picked off by Fournier, who's been a good goal scorer himself. Fournier heads up the ice. Fournier cuts to the center. Glove down by number 35 on the Bruins. And we're going to have a face-off to his right.
Unfortunately, we don't have his name on our roster, so we apologize. But that's the first time he's really been tested in this game. The Bruins have had the puck the majority of the time for these first 5 minutes and change here. And so the Seals are going to be looking to tilt the ice the other way.
So a tie-up briefly, but it's just going to go right back to the Tendy, and he's going to cover it up. So we'll just do this again. Tuturianu was in the dot against Pouliot. Both centermen have been on the ice for a little bit here. And it's dropped again. And it's going to be controlled by Boston, or by the Bruins once again. Settled down here. Hits the brakes. Was McManus. Pouliot plays the puck forward. McManus, head up ice. Tries to center it over there. Nikolaitis was streaking in. Nikolaitis going to try and use the boards here. Going to have his pocket pick as the Bruins still in pursuit of it. Fournier, though, takes it for the Seals. Fournier has some ice. He's going to use it. It's a 3-on-2 rush here for the Seals. Tried to play it over here to Uzunadam. To center right in front. The pass couldn't connect. Settled down at the point here by Tuturianu. Nice little nifty move to get around Pouliot. Still in possession of it. And the defensive stick finally of Lucier gets the puck out of the zone. Lucier trying to cut to the center of the ice. Pouliot still in the mix with that long reach. McManus tries to settle it down. He'll move it over to Pouliot. Shoots. Hits the crossbar and goes into the meshing. Pouliot had the right idea of going high, but just missed the mark.
Well, great awareness there from McManus. You see when he gets the puck on his stick, he makes a decision so quickly. He's already an outstanding passer, but that IQ, that awareness, that ability to process information quickly, that's what really makes him stand out in this tournament as a fantastic player.
So in the dot once again. The draw, once again controlled by the Bruins, who have had a lot of success on the faceoffs as Kunkam is going to battle for it. It's shoveled around, though. And number 19, that's going to be Rogue, going to pick it up. He's going to go across ice here. Mihai walks into the zone, hits his stick, and it's going to go out of play once again. And the puck is going to prop just behind the glass. It's good. He's going to have a nice hockey game that he's going to watch for the rest of the game is that puck.
Yeah, that was a good rush by the Seals. I would have liked to see a bit more passing. I think they need to get a bit more creative. We saw earlier they tried, a cross-ice pass right in the slot to, I believe it was James Thomas Gagné that didn't end up connecting, but the Seals need to try more creative plays.
So the Bruins win the draw once again, and Nikolaitis will control it. He'll use the boards, and Kunkam will pinch it forward. But good pinch actually here by Villeneuve. Shot short of towards the goal, but it goes just wide. Wallace will pick a pocket, and here come the Bruins back the other way. It's Bosom with it. Bosom has Allaire, but a lot of jerseys on the opposition in his face. Tried to go back to Wallace, who lost the puck briefly and gets it right back. He'll fire it around the boards. Villeneuve in the mix. He's going to try and whack it right back. Finally, Rowe will hit it up in the air. Wallace will have to come back and play it in his own end. Ian Wallace, stretch feed here. Kunkam does get it in the end. Kunkam streaking in, moves it over to Bosom, shoots. Nice save made here by Cloutier. He settled down and finally broken out. Fournier, they're not going to break out initially here, and now Fournier is now going to have a couple of nifty moves and does get the puck out of the zone as it goes past center ice. Makes a connection pass with Rowe, who moves it back to Fournier. Fournier, in his own end, is going to shovel it forward here. Rowe with a little chop to himself. Wallace in pursuit of him. Rowe trying to play the puck behind the net. It's going to be taken away by Wallace. Wallace has been really sound defensively in this one, moving the puck really well. Moves it forward, and actually a mixed save right there almost. But here comes Nikolaitis back the other way. He's going to feed it over to McManus. McManus has Pouliot with him. Nice feed between the legs of Fournier, but he couldn't handle the pass with Pouliot. He was almost not expecting that to get through, and neither was I, and neither was Fournier. Finally, Nikolaitis is going to take the feed from his goaltender. He's going to use the boards here and shovel it around to Pepin. Pepin's going to use the boards and finally break it out of the zone again. Moved forward and then slapped right back by Fournier. Sort of stalls around center ice, and finally it's going to be picked up by Pouliot. Pouliot's going to shovel it forward, and McManus is going to try and settle it down, and Fournier's just going to take it right away from him. Evan Fournier plays it forward now. Uzunadam has his pocket picked. Nikolaitis will pick it up now by the Bruins. Nobody here on either team is able to set up in the zone. It's just good defensive play so far. Going to walk in with it. A fired shot. Fournier makes the good effort here, but a better save by the Tendy of the Bruins. A tie-up here along the boards. Still in pursuit of it as the Bruins do get it. Less than a minute left in this first period. Puck is trying to be played forward here by the Bruins. They're desperate to get it out of their own zone as Pouliot still in possession of it. Pouliot finally uses the glass, and it does escape. So a bit of a breather only for Fournier to take it around center ice. He's going to make an extra move and enter into the zone. Fournier shoots off a stick and wide of the mark. Nikolaitis will settle it down. He's chopped, and it's taken away by Uzunadam. Excuse me, that is going to be that is Uzunadam. A pinch along the boards here, and it does squeeze out with less than 30 seconds left to play in the first. Be held here by Vlad Titurian, who tried to go in front, and it's knocked away by Pouliot. It does escape out of the zone, and Fournier will try and take it back here. The Seals looking to have one more rush with less than 20 seconds, roughly 15 actually, in the first. Fournier cuts to the center of the ice. Fournier shoots. Pad save made again by the Boston goalie. Trying to be flicked around here. Pepin. He'll flick it high. It goes off the glass and out of play. So we'll have a face-off with 3.3 seconds left in the first.
Well, the Seals are starting to wake up now. I mean, you saw when the Bruins scored their 2 goals, the big boys for the Seals, that's, Vlad Titurian, Mathis Uzunadam, and Simon Fournier. They weren't doing much offensively. They didn't have much time with the puck. But in the second half of the period, they've gotten more possession. They have yet to actually get a goal from it. But this will pay dividends going forward.
My apologies. It is Simon Fournier, not Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier is somebody I work with at Lids back in LaSalle. So that's a mistake by me as we'll see the end of the period. So, Jared, the Bruins have a 2-goal lead. Opening the story the opening scoring by Nathaniel Kunkam seemed to give them a lot of momentum. But as you pointed out, the Seals desperate to get back in this one. So what advice am I, if I'm the coach of the Seals, am I giving to my team so that they don't get down on themselves?
Yeah, I mean, just keep doing what they've been doing for the past 4 or so minutes of play here. The Bruins dominated the first half of the period. I wouldn't say the Seals necessarily dominated the second half, but they were more in the game. And you can see their big players are starting to wake up. They're making some better passes, setting up some better plays. And like we've said, there are standings positions up for grabs for both these teams. So this isn't a write-off by any means. The Seals They just need to get one to start. I mean, we know the Bruins are a tough team defensively. They may not score the most in the tournament, but they definitely don't give up a ton of goals either. So the Seals need to be methodical. They need to take advantage of their opportunities, and that's how they'll have success.
You'd have to think that if the Bruins weren't having to deal in the division where the Canadians lie, they would be top of it with how well that they can win these games and how lopsided they can often be. So if I'm this Bruins team, do you think I'm taking anything lightly going into the playoffs?
Well, absolutely not. I mean, the Bruins know that they have a monster team in their division, so they may not even be focusing on this game. They're just thinking ahead to the playoffs, and they're just trying to think if they want to make it all the way, they will likely have to go through this Canadians team at some point. So for the Bruins, they just want to protect this lead, of course, but it might not be their primary focus right now.
Kuhnkam's going to shovel it forward off the draw here by the Bruins, and he'll be in pursuit now by number 22, Thomas Gagné. James Salma-Gagné, excuse me. Kuhnkamp's going to pick it off, though. He's going to walk in. Score! Nathaniel Kuhnkamp, once again, snipe show. His second of the match, and it's 3-0 Bruins.
Well, that goal was almost identical to the first goal he scored, where he kind of picked it up on the boards or at the faceoff dot around, and he found his way to the middle of the ice and just unleashed a laser beam of a shot that beat Zachary Cloutier. That's unbelievable display of skill from Kuhnkamp to find space like that, just coming off the boards, and he keeps his feet moving, and that laser shot is always an asset as well.
So actually going to be controlled here by the Seals now off the draw. Walking in with a high shot, misses the mark here. Allaire for the Bruins going to try and play the puck forward. Kuhnkamp's going to handle it now for the Bruins. He's going to go up to Bosun, who can't handle the pass. In pursuit of it is going to be Gadbois. Gadbois makes the extra move and almost loses the puck right in front of his own goal. A player takes a tumble on the far side, and Allaire's going to pick it off, only for Gadbois to take it right back. Hits that same player who had the tumble, and Allaire's going to circle into the zone. He's going to shoot wide of the mark. Picked up here by Elie Villeneuve. Villeneuve almost dangerously in front of his own goal, and they do clear the zone, but Bruins going to just come back and play it. Thomas Papin has it. Moves it forward to Allaire. Allaire tries to go between the legs of Gadbois. He's going to get a high stick to the face here, and it's going to be a penalty against the Seals. Yeah. As Allaire was down on the ice, he looks to be okay. He was a bit shaken up, but they're going to go on the man advantage. Yeah,
that was a violent reaction from Allaire. He was down on the ice for a bit, but he's up now. He looks to be okay. But that's really not what the Seals need. And now you don't want to give the Bruins any time on special teams. We know that they score a lot of goals on the power play, also the penalty kill as well. So any time you're not 5-on-5 against the Bruins, it can spell trouble.
As we're looking at how they're going to set up right now, it looks to be Vlad Turianu, who's got a good set of hands in the faceoff dot, going against Pouliot, who also has a good set of hands. Easy win here by Pouliot. Is it back to Wallace? He's going to walk in, hits a stick, and goes wide of the mark. Going to be shoveled forward, and it's good. Shoulder save made here by Cloutier. And finally, the Seals do get it out. Be settled behind the goal by the Boston goaltender. Going to give it right to Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis has a man on him, but he's got some space to use. You got Dylan Lucier to his right, but he's going to dump it into the zone instead. In pursuit are a couple sweaters here, and it looks like the race is going to be won by Fournier. Fournier, nice little nifty move and plays it forward. Good feed here, in tight, shoot, scores! Despite being shorthanded, it's Mathis Uzunedam who gets a marker here for the Seals, and just like that, it's 3-1.
Well, we're used to seeing the Bruins as the team that create offense on the penalty kill, but that's a big one for the Seals. Mathis Uzunedam, he's had a fantastic tournament. He's won at least one Player of the Game award, and that's a fantastic rush from him. You just see his skill on display. Makes it look easy, skating in past all the defenders and beating the goaltender with a fantastic shot.
So it's typically the Bruins who have scored a lot of goals shorthanded, but the Seals do them one better with that one, still trailing by 2 here. About a minute 20 left in the penalty still, as it's going to be played forward here by the Bruins, but it can't get a pass across and handled. The Bruins do take it back center ice, though. Wallace feeds it forward. It's going to be McManus who plays it over to Lucier. Dylan Lucier, who's been phenomenal in this tournament, too. Pouliot slapper hits a glove, apparently, of the Seals. Pouliot still with the shot, hits a stick and goes wide. McManus behind the goal. Feeds it over to Wallace at the line. Wallace down low to Pouliot. Pouliot across crease. No one's home to get it, and it misses everybody and comes out of the zone for the Bruins. Wallace will have to come back and play it and move it forward now to Pouliot. Pouliot loses it briefly, but Wallace gets it right back. Wallace, the assistant captain, or one of 2 assistant captains for the Bruins. Going to be played back here to Lucier. Glove down. Still rebound loose. Shoots. Wallace can't get it to go. He misses the net. He tried to be played in front here by McManus, trying to feed Wallace, nothing going. Turianu in the mix. Can be played over on the side here. Lucier couldn't get enough wood on that one to play and put it home. McManus settles it down in the corner. Looking for a passing lane, he'll leave it to Pouliot. Pouliot goes to the point for Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis spins, puts it back down to McManus around the hash marks. Hits a body, and finally it's going to be pushed forward as time will expire in the penalty, and we'll go back to full strength. But walking into the zone now is Zunadam, who already has a goal. He's going to walk in. Save made this time by the Bruins goaltender. Zunadam fires it around the boards, but no one's there. So Lucier will pick it up here for the Bruins. Dylan Lucier walks in. He'll shoot. Save made here by Cloutier. Puck is jostled forward. Be sent across from Rowe all the way over to Mihai. Goes back to Rowe. Shoots. Save made here. Getting across the crease to make the save is the Boston Tendy.
Yeah, nice slide across there. I mean, the Seals already got one excuse me, on the penalty kill. So you know they're looking for a second one here, and that would have really made this a tight game. So a nice save.
Into the face-off dot is going to be Kuhncum going against Rowe. Referee verifies that everybody's in the right position. Drops the puck. Be handled here by the Bruins, and they're going to come back the other way. It's roughly a 3-on-2 with some men coming into back check. Nikolaitis centers it across. Puck was still loose in front, bounced for a bit. Picked up by Nikolaitis in the corner. There's going to be some battle for it in front. There's going to be a penalty here. It's going to be against number 22. That's going to be Gadbois for a cross-check in front of the net. The referee saw that clear.
Although he did blow the whistle.
Oh, two people are going to be going off, I believe, for instigating or fighting. So it's going to be Elliot Allaire as well who's going to be in the box. It'll be interesting what the actual call is here, but I believe it's Gadbois and Allaire who will be in the sin bin for 2.
Yeah, that was slightly confusing as the official blew the whistle while the Bruins had possession of the puck. So I thought it was going to be a Seals power play. But we're going to play 4-on-4 here, I believe, as there are only 4 Bruins out on the ice.
No, I believe, okay, there we go. So McManus is going to join the Russ as well. They're making us do math, Jared. That's not what we were hired here to do. We merely speak English and a bit of French as the puck is dropped and go back to the point here. Pepin went over to Wallace, who didn't get enough wood on that, or should I say fiberglass with the way that these sticks are made nowadays. Can be out of the zone and broken out here by the Seals. In with it is going to be Uzunadam. It's picked off by Wallace. Going to try and slide it over to McManus. McManus to Wallace. Wallace, the extra move past center ice. He's got some men with him, but a lot of jerseys on the opposition in his face. Wallace is going to go into the corner with Fournier on him. Plays it around the boards to Turianu. Nice nifty move, and he's going to push it forward here to number 52. That was Gagne. And then he's going to go over to Uzunadam, who hits the stick of the other number 15, Wallace, on the Bruins. Settled down here by Gagne. Gagne goes back to the point. Shovel back into Gagne. Tries to go across crease, but too many Boston sweaters in the way. Try to shovel it on goal, and it's going to go wide of the mark. Wallace will try and break it out here for the Bruins. He goes over to McManus. McManus goes across ice here to Pepin, who's going to shovel it forward to Kuhncum. He's already got 2 goals in this one. Nathaniel Kuhncum hits a body and goes wide of the mark. Kuhncum's going to pick it right back. Nathaniel Kuhncum trying to go across the ice. He centers it in front. Pouliot can't get enough on that one. It's an easy save made by Cloutier. Pouliot can't get the feed across. He's going to have to settle it down once again. Going to go back to the point, and it's Pepin. He's going to fire it on goal. Now Kuhncum almost had a great deflection. Good save made by Cloutier. Fournier, he's going to be tripped up. That's going to be an easy call as he ran into the knee of Pouliot. So it's going to be the Seals with a man advantage here with 4:47 left in the second period.
Yeah, and they're lucky after that one. That was a great barrage by the Bruins for a little while. Nathaniel Kuhncum with the puck on his stick or even near his stick, it's almost a magician. His hand-eye coordination is excellent. You saw him deflect that puck, and that was a great stop by Cloutier to keep this a 2-goal game. And now the Seals have an opportunity to come into this lead.
Nathaniel Kuhncum, I got to meet his dad Rene yesterday. Both are of Cree heritage, actually, so very good to see a lot of the natives that are in this tournament fired around the boards here. Can't be settled down by Villeneuve. Now in pursuit of it is Bosom. Bosom's got Fournier on him. Good defensive stick by Fournier. Bosom does have it, though, after the battle. He falls after whiffing on the pass. Still on his knees. Can be taken right back here by Mihai. He had it played forward here to Rowe. Looking to move the puck over here. It's still loose in front. Tried to go. It hits the side of the goal. Out of position is still the goaltender for the Bruins. He finally gets back to his feet and poke checks it away. Going to play back to the point for Villeneuve, who moves it right back over to Mihai. Mihai back to Villeneuve. Sells it down at the point. Good forecheck here by Bosom. And it finally does squeeze over to Walls, who uses the boards and gets it out. He'll kill some more time in this penalty. Roughly a minute 7 left in the penalty to Pouliot. And now Fournier with some speed here. He's going to enter into the offensive zone. Simon Fournier hits the brakes. We got Kuhncum on him. Battle for it along the boards. Kuhncum finally comes up with it. Villeneuve will hold the line and have like a sort of shot that goes wide. They are offside now, and now they have to get onside, but it's not before Nikolaitis takes it and tries to dump it down. He's going to kill a bit more time in this penalty. Cloutier is going to elect to not play the puck, and he's just going to let Fournier take it instead. Fournier, lead pass here. Going to go over to Mihai. Drop down here. Gagne tried to center it across. Confront a little bit here. McManus will settle it down, and he'll go over to Wallace. He's going to flick it just out of the short boards here. So we'll have a stoppage in play on the dump attempt. Oh, it will be a delay of game, actually.
Yes, it will. I was about to say I was surprised that that wasn't going to be a delay of game call. But now it's going to be a 5-on-3 advantage here for the Seals for the last 19 seconds. And no time like the present. Down 2 goals in a big game.
So 3 men in the box here for the Bruins. I hope they get comfortable. They share a locker room, but now they're going to have to share roughly a 6 meter, about 1.5 meter space. No shoving, boys. You'll all have a chance to get back on the ice soon. 5-on-3 with still a 3-1 lead. The Seals looking to do something, but the Bruins control it off the draw. It is held at the line, though, by the Seals. Good play made here. Fournier, he'll try and move it around. He's got McManus on him. He's going to play it forward now. Can be held here by Uzunadam. Uzunadam goes across with it. He can't get the feed over to Turianu. There is going to be one guy out of the box. It's Pouliot. So he's going to join the mix here. So it's 5-on-4 once again. Going to be to Turianu. He goes down here to Gagne. Gagne to Uzunadam. Uzunadam moves it right over to Fournier. Fournier across with it now. Shot on goal. Going to be gloved down here by the goaltender for the Bruins, and we'll have a stoppage in play with 2:22 left in the second period.
Well, I was surprised to see the Seals. They didn't take a single shot attempt during that short 5-on-3. I think that was kind of a missed opportunity for them, as we know the Bruins are dangerous offensively on the penalty kill. Now, still 5-on-4 now for 1 minute and 16 seconds, but I think the Seals needed to take advantage of the 5-on-3 there.
The Seals thought they had the draw initially, but it's going to be the captain, Dylan Lucier, who takes it for the Bruins now into the offensive zone. Tries to make the extra move. Didn't know where the puck was. Fournier will take it right away from him. Simon Fournier. He's going to just use the ice instead here. Hit the body of Bosom. And it'll be played back again by the Seals. They're going to go across with it. It's briefly intercepted by Lucier and played over now to Fournier. Fournier looking for a man to pass the puck over to. Simon Fournier hits the brakes. He's going to go right back to the point here to Gagne. Gagne back to Fournier. Fournier is going to walk in cross crease. No one's home to tap it there. Uzunadam's going to play it back to Villeneuve. Villeneuve back to Uzunadam. Going to walk in, hits a body, still loose in front, and now finally covered up by the Bruins. So dangerous momentum here by the Seals, starting out with 31 seconds left in the penalty.
Well, not only is the Bruins penalty kill very dangerous on offense, as we've said several times, they also do a fantastic job of closing those passing and shooting lanes for the Seals. You can tell the Seals have had a lot of difficulty throughout this power play, the 5-on-3 and 5-on-4, at finding those lanes, getting passes across, and getting clean shots on net.
Villeneuve with a slap shot, doesn't actually get to the goal. Rebound, wrap attempt here. Pepin's just going to fire it around the boards by the Bruins. It's held at the line by Villeneuve, and finally it does squeeze out. Try to get slapped forward here to Lucier. It's now a back check here by the Seals. It's going to be dumped and shot wide of the mark. Seals after it. It was Gadbois, or excuse me, number 26, don't have number 28 listed on my roster, unfortunately, for the Seals. So it's played forward now. Out of the box comes Wallace. Wallace now going to join the rush here. Lucier, he has Lucier with him. Just stick down. Good defensive play made by 28 on the Seals with less than a minute left in the second period. A battle for it along the boards. Wallace still came up with it somehow. Trying to be played forward here by 28. Lucier gets in the mix. Wallace going to take it around the hash marks. Wallace now behind the goal. Going to center it in front. Lucier couldn't tap it home. The Seals going to try and get out of the zone. They will successfully, but Kuncum picks the pocket once again. Daniel Kuncum with some speed. He's going to run the man over. There's going to be no call there, even though it did look like a clear push. Kuncum just a bit bigger than his opposition. So he's going to win the physical battle with less than 25 seconds left now in the period. Kuncum in the mix once again. He's been everywhere this game. Already has 2 goals in it. Looking maybe for that hat trick. As it's going to be settled down by Pouliot, who tries to set her over in front. Nicolaitis settles it down. Shot from the point. It's going to be held on here by Cloutier with 7.8 seconds remaining.
It's a big save by Cloutier, but Nathaniel Kuncum is just an absolute hound everywhere on the ice. You see, even when he doesn't have the puck on his stick, as we said earlier, he's engaging in physical contact with other players. He's trying to steal the puck back, and so he has a massive impact for this Bruins team, even when he doesn't show up on the score sheet. So when he does show up on the score sheet, he's one of the best players all around.
So that should do it as the Seals will try a rush here, but there's too little time left on the clock. A long shot here by number 15, Uzunadam, is gloved down easily. So a 3-1 lead here for the Bruins Only 2 goals, and the Seals have some offensive effort that they can try and get back in this one. But Jared, what advice are you giving the Seals if you're the coach for them with only 2 goals down?
Yeah, I think it's crunch time for the Seals. I mean, at the end of the first period, I thought they had some more time, down 2 goals, to just kind of stick with their process and keep doing what they're doing. But now I think it's almost panic mode, because you didn't score on a 5-on-3 power play. You scored shorthanded, actually, but it's still a 2-goal game. You got to get something going. So just anytime, you just got to put a puck on net now. Anytime you have a chance, I think. And because the Bruins defense is so solid, they play so well as a cohesive unit, you're not going to get many opportunities against them.
Now, if you look at the Bruins side, they look to be sitting pretty in some comfortable position, up 2 goals. But what advice should you give them if you want to make sure that they're still in this game?
Well, they've done a fantastic job, I think, on both sides of the ice here. Like I said before, playing as a cohesive unit, they don't really need to change anything, I don't think. If I'm the Bruins coach, I'm saying, just keep your head in the game, stay focused, and literally keep doing exactly what you're doing.
So in the faceoff dot is going to be Pouliot. He's going to go up against number 10. That's Tuturianu. Going to be won here by the Seals. Kicked over now. Try to be played forward, and the Seals going to battle for it along the boards with Pouliot here. And it does squeeze out. It's McManus who has it. He looked to feed it across to Allaire, but he's going to hold on to it. Now he's going to try and go across, but Fournier gets his skate in the way. Simon Fournier now is going to go back the other way. He leaves it over to Toriano. That's Uzunadam. Going to go back to Fournier. Couldn't handle the pass. Wallace in the mix now. Tries to play it around the boards. He does successfully. Pouliot didn't handle it at first. It's knocked out of the air. Walking in with it. Shot. Tuturianu just missed the mark. Comes bouncing back and covered up by the Bruins.
Well, that was the right play by Tuturianu. Exactly what I said after the second period. Just, you got to put as many pucks on net as you can. And he tried that there. Unfortunately, it just goes wide. But we know Tuturianu has a great shot, and so he can definitely pot one from that distance.
So setting up in the dot, it's going to be Nathaniel Kuncombe who's going to go up against number 19. That is Rowe again. Rowe tried the tie-up, but Kuncombe is successful on that draw. Wallace sends it around the boards. It's going to be handled here by Nikolaitis, who plays it forward. Lucier couldn't handle it, but it's going to be squeezed out to Bosom. He'll have it taken away from him. Going to be curious to see what the call is. I believe it's going to be a slash. No, it's going to be a hooking call, and that's going to be on Elie Villeneuve. So the Seals down 2 goals and now down a man as well.
Yeah, that was not an ideal play, obviously, for the Seals. You're already having trouble creating offense in this game, and going down a man, this game is, I think, very close to being wrapped up here, especially if the Bruins can pot one on this power play.
Kuncombe in the mix now. Got to tie up, but Rowe's actually going to win it here. He fired down, but held at the line by Wallace. Lucier going to try and feed it right over. It's going to be gloved here by Cloutier, who holds on to it, and will just do the face-off once again.
Well, the Seals need to just get a lucky break on this penalty kill, I think. That's exactly how they scored their first goal. It was a breakaway from Matthias Uzunadam, and that's all the offense they've mustered so far. And so I think they just need to take advantage of a mistake here, because you can't really afford to let more time run off the clock.
So the puck is bouncing briefly. It's going to be played across now. Nikolaitis is going to play it up to Bosom. Bosom hits the brakes. He plays it back to Nikolaitis. He's got Rowe on him, who tries to play it back forward to Bosom. Still a battle for it here. It does squeeze out of the zone finally, so back to play it will be Wallace. He'll turn around and look up ice. Feeds it over to Bosom, who didn't handle it quickly. And he'll get it right back and dump it in, and they'll chase after it. Lucier and Fournier in a battle for it. Fournier gets there first. Simon Fournier trying to bring it out of the zone. Bosom, good defensive forecheck here. Bounces around quickly, and now dangerously in front. It was still bouncing, had to be kicked away by Cloutier. It was almost bouncing right off the deflection from the board, and here come the Seals back the other way. Trying to center it front. Nothing going, couldn't be handled. Going to be diving on the puck. He misses it here, does the goaltender. So it'll be taken by Wallace instead and up the ice. Nice feed over to Lucier. Dylan Lucier, the captain for the Bruins. Blocker save made. Rebound. Wallace settles it down. Shoots. Save made by Cloutier again. Fournier in the mix trying to get it away. It'll be finally handled by Rowe, who's just going to fire it around the boards with 40 seconds left in the penalty. Elie Villeneuve. Settled down by the Boston goalie, who's going to fire it across to Lucier, as there was a change here for the Seals. So Lucier with a chance, but the Seals get back. Fournier with the defensive stick. He's going to backhand it forward. He played here by Nikolaitis past center ice. Moves over to Pepin, who moves it forward to McManus, who moves it to Pouliot. Pouliot walks in, shoots high of the mark. Nikolaitis will hold it on the line. Lucier with a nice move. Lucier is going to walk in, shoots, scores, snipes it home. Top cheese, the captain for the Bruins, and Dylan Lucier gives them a 4-1 lead.
Well, that goal is just another drop in the bucket for Dylan Lucier. We've seen he's scored 3 hat tricks in this tournament already, and that was just an absolute snipe top corner. Up until that point, Zachary Cloutier had made several great solid saves in a row, doing his best to keep the Seals in this one. But now it's 4-1. Obviously, he can't do it all himself.
So a 4-1 lead here. The Bruins sitting pretty, to say the least, as the puck is dropped and looked to be won by the Seals, but the Bruins will take it back the other way. Allaire dropped it to nobody as Gagne gets the interception, but he doesn't have enough muster on the pass, and finally he does break it out of the zone. Wallace will have to come back and retrieve it here for the Bruins. Wallace with the other number 15 on him. That's Uzunadam. Wallace goes across with it to McManus. McManus going to play it forward now. It's going to be Allaire. He's going to walk into the zone. Got a good defensive stick by Villeneuve. Disrupts the play there as no shot can go on goal. Wallace tries to hold the line. He will now. Wallace fires it in. Save made by Cloutier, who gloves it down and assures the referee that he has that one.
Well, you're starting to see one of the bigger strengths of this Bruins team is their kind of resilience and perseverance. Even though they just scored to take a 4-1 lead in a game that they're going to win in all likelihood, they're still pushing, they're still trying to score. And so you see that strong mentality coming in where I'm sure they're not thinking that they have a 4-1 lead. They're just keeping a short memory and just trying to score a goal all the time.
So Pouliot tried to win the draw, but it got taken back here by the Seals. They'll lose it around center ice as Wallace will pick it up. He's going to use the boards, and he'll be settled down here by number 28, whose name I still don't have, excuse me. Be intercepted into the offensive zone here. Pouliot had it whacked away from him, and Wallace will take it around center ice one again. Wallace feed over to McManus. McManus with Uzunadam all over him. He'll have to turn around with it now. McManus looking for a man. Moves it right on over to Pepin. Pepin's going to go all the way over to Allaire. He's going to try and center it. Bruins were offside, so they're going back onside. Moves it right over to Pouliot, who's going to walk into the zone. Pouliot, the extra move, in the middle of the ice, shoots, hits his stick, and goes wide. Elliot Allaire will settle it down. He'll go around the boards. He'll be intercepted behind the net, though, by Fournier. Simon Fournier gets around the opposition. Runs into his own man offensively on the offensive move here, as they tried to be onside was Gagne and ran into him. Wallace plays it all along the boards to Allaire. Bouncing puck. The Bruins were clearly offside there. They still are, and finally be touched by Allaire, who takes 2 flops and tumbles on the ice there, but the play is called dead.
Well, you see the Seals down 3 goals. This game's just about over. Still having trouble mustering any kind of offense. And the Bruins just doing an excellent job. They're not necessarily the most talented team in this tournament. They have talent, of course. But their real strength, the thing that really makes them a dark horse team in this tournament, is the ability to just play like a well-oiled machine.
So Kuhnkamp's going to take it off the draw here, still with possession behind the net. Feels like there's glue on his stick. He just can't get it off him. Wallace going to walk in, doesn't get enough on that one. It's easily gloved down by Cloutier, with Wallace breathing down his throat.
Great chemistry there from the Bruins, too. You see, Kuhnkamp and Fields has chemistry with almost all his teammates because of his great vision. He has great shooting ability, but he's also a fantastic passer. As you saw there, he's able to keep his head up the entire time and make a great pass to the slot.
So the puck is dropped here in pursuit after, as it looked like the Seals won the draw, but the Bruins get there first. In front, Kuhnkamp gets his hat trick as it's centered in front by Liam Bosom. And that's the 3rd goal of the match for Nathaniel Kuhnkamp, as it's a 5-1 lead for the Bruins.
Well, that one just looked easy for Nathaniel Kuhnkamp. You can tell he was right in the crease the entire time, potted that one home, and just kind of shrugged it off, even though that's a hat-trick goal for him. And now it's 5-1 Bruins, and you can say second place in the Eastern Conference is just about locked up here.
Yeah, as the Canadians already clinched first place, as you pointed out earlier, Jared. Off the draw here, it is won by the Seals. Elie Villeneuve will take it here. Tried to play it along the boards. It does squeeze out of the zone, but Kuhnkamp does an interception again. Turning on his stick, Nathaniel Kuhnkamp trying to play it back to his forehand now. Kuhnkamp going to shoot. Blocker save made by Cloutier. Now here come the Seals back the other way to Mihai. Mihai had to hit the brakes briefly. Going to move it right on over to Rowe, who moves it over to number 9. That was Borello. Borello dumps it in deep, and Rowe's going to pick it up here for the Seals. Rowe tried to center her in front, hits Nikolaitis, and he'll hold on to it, and he'll try and get a stretch feed, but it misses Pouliot, so it'll be an icing, and we'll bring it all the way back to Boston's end and try it again.
I'm not sure why Pouliot didn't keep going after that puck. It looked like he had the angle on the Seals defenders. But, I mean, it's understandable with a 4-goal lead. You're maybe checked out a little bit, which makes sense for the Bruins here. But overall, fantastic game by them. Those north-south passes for the Bruins have worked pretty well in this one.
Puck is dropped. And will be finally handled by the Seals as they try and move it on over. Gagne couldn't handle the pass. It'll be dumped in here by number 28. Nikolaitis in the mix as well. Nikolaitis, nicknamed the Train, as the Seals try and move it in tight here. Still loose in front. The goalie couldn't cover it up. Finally, Wallace will get it here for the Bruins. He's going to be battled with here along the boards. And there's going to be a penalty call against the Bruins. It's going to be a slashing call. Is it against Wallace? It was clear. It's not clear who the ref pointed at, even though he does his best Marcel Marceau impression every time he gives the call. It is going to be a slash.
It is against Wallace.
It is against Liam Wallace once again. He already had the delay of game penalty in this one, so he goes back to the sin bin, and the Seals will get the man advantage with 4:18 left in the third period, but roughly 3 minutes left to play as it reads 11:02 a.m. A reminder, at 11:05, the game will be called. 10 minutes allotted to clearing the ice. The Seals win it off the draw, and it was Tuturian who tries to sneak it right back home against the goaltender. Tuturian who's going to hit the brakes and go behind the net here. Looking for a man who's going to go cross ice, shoots, scores! So that one will help a little bit. That helps lick your wounds a bit, as it's going to be number 15, Uzunadam, who pots it in. Is that his second of the game, Jared?
It is indeed, yeah. He scored. He's got a power play goal to go with his shorthanded marker earlier in this one. And, I mean, that goal won't have much of an impact in terms of this game, but goal differential could always come into play in terms of playoff seeding. You never know, since...
So it's one off the draw here. The Bruins going to take it into the zone. McManus going to shovel it on over to Allaire. Elliot Allaire turn around with it. He's going to try and feed it over to Wallace, who couldn't hold on to it. He was right out of the box after the slash. Once the goal was scored by the Seals. McManus battling for it along the boards here. High in the air, and he'll finally go into the corner. Kicked forward. Is still a scrum ensuing here to try and get it free. Fournier's going to hit the brakes again. He's going to battle for it. He keeps the puck on his stick. Fournier hits the brakes again as the Bruins. He's just undressing everybody behind he's in Gretzky's office. Looks like he's dangling in a phone booth there. Pouliot does very much the same, trying to get around Uzunadam. Tuturian takes it right back and tries to move it over to Uzunadam. Allaire will take it instead after interception. Tries to bounce it off the boards. You can't get anything to go. So it moves the puck forward now as it's bouncing. It hits off a body and it goes wide. As now it's going to be settled down behind the net here by Tuturianu. Shoveled forward by Pouliot over to McManus. McManus going to dump it into the zone. Behind the net here. Here comes Fournier. Fournier playing the puck up the ice now. Fournier trying to get it, going to try and get it to the center of the crease here, but it was poke checked away. Nikolaitis going to spiral around the boards. It says 11:05 currently is the time, so you have to expect the buzzer horn is going to sound any time now. Kunkam will get the feed. He'll settle it down and give it right over to Bosum. Bosum moves it over to Kunkam, who tried to get a shot on goal here. Still in possession of it as he fanned initially with Elie Villeneuve all over him. Kunkam's going to go back to the point to Pepin. Pepin's going to shovel it forward. Bosum can't settle it down. And into the mix comes Mihai, as it was a shot briefly on the goal, but actually hit the side of the net. Rowe going to pick it up now for the Seals. 2 minutes apparently left to play in the third period. Rowe with some speed, bouncing puck, and it will be offside. He'll half shovel it. Jared, is there a correction that we need to be making?
Yes, there is. We've just gotten word the Bruins goaltender number 35, his name is Nate Lunsky. So we apologize for that. We didn't have his name on our roster up until now.
Well, Nathan Lunsky has been really phenomenal in this tournament for the Bruins. He's had a really good team in front of him, but he's kept them in the game. Yes, there's 2 goals against them, but he's going against a very speedy Seals offense. As now into the dog is going to be Mihai, and he's going to win the draw here. It's going to be Perella who pulls it forward. Perella still in the corner with it. It's Wallace who's in pursuit of it. Mihai trying to play it around the boards. Perello gets in front. Save made here by Lunsky. Still free though. Going to be a shot now. Lunsky was still on the ice. There was a bit of an open cage, but too many bodies in front for the puck to trickle through. Perello going to pick it up. It's going to be taken away by Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis cuts to the middle of the ice here, still with the puck on his stick. Alex Nikolaitis. Alex the Train Nikolaitis, excuse me. Has the puck in the corner. Gives it all the way over to McManus here. McManus going to try and walk in with it. Tried to play it down low. Bosom wasn't paying attention. Bosom. Villeneuve's going to pinch him. They're still free along the side here. Try to get the puck shot towards the net. Rowe's now going to fire it forward. So there's going to be a minute left to play here in the third period, as we're going to let time run out because there's not another game until 12:15, so roughly an hour break of action. The puck is sent forward here. It doesn't get it connected to anybody, so it'll be an icing call, and we'll go all the way back to the Bruins' end.
Well, the Seals had a great opportunity earlier, just a few seconds ago. I mean, ultimately academic in terms of this game, but I appreciated Nate Lunsky sprawling around the crease doing his best Dominic Hasek impression there.
So into the faceoff dot, the puck is dropped. Then be Chiturianu who had it. He's going to try and hit the brakes because Wallace is all over him. 45 seconds left to play in this one. Chiturianu. He's met by Allaire. Allaire, puck in the air. It's a jackpot like sort of throw up in the air. Hits the brakes is Fournier who tries to hold the line. He can't. Pouliot tries to lift his stick. Pouliot tried to play the puck forward as Fournier took it right back, and then McManus stole it from him. McManus trying to kill some time, but there's roughly 20 seconds left in this game. McManus goes between the legs here. It'll be picked up by Nikolaitis, who moves it right over to Wallace. They're just trying to kill some time, are the Bruins. Allaire takes it from the breakout. 10 seconds left now. Fournier is going to settle it down around center ice. He's going to be taken away by Allaire. Allaire's going to try and play the puck forward with 3 seconds left now. So that's going to do it in this one as the Bruins beat the Seals 5-2 thanks to 3 goals from Nathaniel Kuhnkamp, who's been their stud player in this one. Jared, what's your assessment of what you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, that was just a masterclass performance by every player on the Bruins start to finish. That's exactly what you want to see as a coach. They dominated the game offensively and defensively from the beginning to the end. The Seals could never get much going offensively until the later parts of the game where it didn't matter very much anymore. So great performance by the Bruins to close out their regular season and secure second place in the Eastern Conference.
That's going to do it here for some NHL Kids U17 action. Once again, on behalf of Jared Lackman-Minkoff, I'm Connor Tomlty saying thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.